Chapter 2, The Honeymoon. For the next few months, I went back to visit my father quite regularly to hear his story. About mom, what are you doing, Pop? 11, 12, 13. I make it into daily portions my pills. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So many? It's 6 pills for the heart, one for the diabetes, and maybe 25 or 30 vitamins. For my condition, I must fight to save myself. Doctors, they only give me junk food. That's how I call prescription drugs now. I study this in my prevention magazines. Maybe you want to read? No thanks. About mom, did she have any boyfriends before she met you? Not romantic, but one tall boy from Warsaw. He was a communist. Even after the marriage, when this fellow came to Sosnowiec, Anya always ran to see him. I didn't know, of course, that he was communist. I always kept far away from communist people. A little after we were married, I came home from a selling trip. Hey, Vladik, they just arrested the seamstress that lives down your hall. She has some secret communist documents. And when I went upstairs, the police just arrest. Huh? What's the matter? The police are here. They're looking for Anya. She just told us that boy from Warsaw brings communist messages. She translates them into German and passes them on. Anya was involved in conspirations. A little before the police came, she got from friends a telephone call. They suspect you. Hide the papers quickly, but they're important. Try not to destroy them. What to do? She ran to the seamstress, what was one of our tenants. Miss Stefanska, please hide this package for me. Don't tell anyone about it. And Anya was a good customer, so she agreed. The police went over our house top to bottom. It was nothing to find, so they searched the neighbors. Okay, how did you get this package? I never saw it before. One of my customers must have left it. Anya was safe, but the seamstress, they arrested. When I found out this story, I was ready to break the marriage. I told her, Anya, if you want me, you have to go my way. If you want your communist friends, then I can't stay in this house. And she was a good girl, and of course she stopped all such things. What happened to the seamstress? Miss Stefanska sat in prison for a longer time, maybe 3 months. There wasn't enough evidence, and finally the police let her go. Father-in-law paid the cost from the lawyers and gave to her some money. It cost maybe 15,000 zlotys. That's a lot, huh? Yeah, but not only this. At the same time, he did for us even more. You know, Vladek, when you and Anya give me a grandchild, I want him to be well off. Well, I almost have enough room for my sales trips to start up a textile shop. A shop? Phew, you ought to have a textile factory. That would cost a fortune. Please, I can give you the money and plenty of credit. I started a factory in Belsko and visited to Anya every weekend. By October 1937, the factory was going and it was born my first son, Richiv. He's a big baby, over 3 kilos. My God, Anya weighs only 39. Of course, you never knew him. He didn't come out from the war. Yes, I know. But wait, if you were married in February and Richie was born in October, was he premature? Yes, a little. But you, after the war, when you were born, it was very premature. The doctors thought you wouldn't live. I found the specialist what saved you. He had to break your arm to take you out from Anya's belly. And when you were a tiny baby, your arm always jumped up, like so. We joked and called you Heil Hitler. Always we pushed your arm down and you would, oops, look what you made me do. Me? Okay, I'll recount them later. No, you don't know counting pills. I'll do it after. I'm an expert for this. So Anya stayed with the family, and I went to live in Bilsko for my factory business and to find for us an apartment. But soon it came from Snasnovitz, a telephone. Vladik, come home right away. Anya is sick. She was crying as soon as I came in. What's wrong, darling? Sob, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. But why are you crying? I don't know. I have a good family, a fine son. I should be happy, but I don't care. I just don't want to live. Here, baby, drink this and rest. I don't understand. What's the matter? Giving birth was too much of a strain. She's always hysterical or depressed. A breakdown. Please. The doctor told us about a sanitarium. But somebody must go with her. Someone she trusts. Everything's arranged. The child can stay here with the governess. And I'll watch your factory. Sob. Right away we went. The sanitarium was inside Czechoslovakia, one of the most expensive and beautiful in the world. I remember when we were almost arrived, we passed a small town. Oi! Everybody, every Jew from the train got very excited and frightened. Look! It was the beginning of 1938, before the war. Hanging high in the center of town, it was a Nazi flag. Here was the first time I saw, with my own eyes, the swastika. I tell you, there's a pogrom going on in Germany today. One fellow told us of his cousin what was living in Germany. He had to sell his business to a German and run out from the country without even the money. It was very hard there for the Jews. Terrible. Another fellow told us of a relative in Brandenburg. The police came to his house and no one heard again from him. It was many, many such stories. Synagogues burned, Jews beaten with no reason, whole towns pushing out all Jews. Each story was worse than the other. Let's hope those Nazi gangsters get thrown out of power. Just pray that they don't start a war. The sanitarium was far away from everything, so peaceful. Look at how beautiful these gardens are, Anya. Uh-huh. People came from all over the world with different sicknesses. It was even shops here, a theater, really beautiful. Our room is like a luxury hotel. Look at this view. Uh-huh. Each morning, nurses would visit to Anya, and each few days I talked to the big specialist at the clinic. Well, what did the doctor say? He told me you're doing fine, fine. Just relax. I understood much of such sicknesses, so I helped always to keep her down. Look, we got a letter from home today with a photo of Richard. Let me see. He's a handsome boy just like his father, yes? Yes. In the evenings, we went either to the theater or to dance in a cafe. Did I tell you the tragedy about the pillow my family lost at the start of the 1914 war? I was 7. We lived too close to the border. It wasn't safe. I told her many jokes and stories to keep her busy. So we took what we could on a wagon pulled by 4 horses and went to my grandfather's home in Rendemsko. Someone rode past us and told us that we dropped a pillow a few miles back. A guy traveling to Amstel picked it up. Imagine, my father never rode a horse before, but he unhitched one from the wagon and rode toward Amstel. We waited and waited. Mother started crying. Surely he fell and got killed. She had begged him to let the pillow go and take all our troubles with it. The horse was bony and didn't have a saddle. Finally, late that night, father rode back with the pillow under his bloody tuchus. So father got his pillow back, but he couldn't sit down for the rest of the war. I love you, Vladek. And she was so happy, and so happy, so happy, that she approached each time and kissed me. So happy she was. We stayed maybe 3 months, and when we came back, Anya was completely different from when she left. Yoo-hoo, Papa! Anya, you look like a million. Listen, Vladek, I didn't want you to worry while you're at the sanitarium, but brace yourself. The Bielsko factory has been robbed. What? It happened last month. They took everything. I, 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 I didn't even have time to insure it before we left. Well, at least I can help you build it up again. Were you looted as some sort of anti-Semitic activity? I don't think this was it. Just a robbery. Like when they robbed us last year in Rego Park, here last year. Well, in Bielsko, father-in-law helped us again to establish ourselves. In a couple of months, we were well off, quite well off. A working factory, a 2-bedroom apartment, a Polish governess, and even a maid. Look, Richard, Papa's home. You look upset, Vladek. There was another riot downtown today. Everyone yelling, Jews out, Jews out. Even 2 people killed. The police just watched. It's those Nazis stirring everybody up. When it comes to Jews, the Poles don't need much stirring up. Mr. Spiegelman, how can you say such a thing? I think of you as part of my own family. I'm sorry, Janina. I didn't mean you. I'm just worried. Maybe we should move away like some others have. If things get really bad, we'll run back to Snostovitz. Why would Snastovitz be any safer than Bielsko? We then thought that Hitler wanted only the parts from Poland, like Bielsko, what used to be parts from Germany before the First World War. We were very happy still for over a year until August 24th, 1939. A letter from the government, a draft notice. I was in the Polish Reserves Army, and so I had to go right away. It was a big confusion. Everyone knew it would now be a war. Quick, pack everything. Your father will take you to Snosnovik. Vladka, I'm afraid. Grab your knickknacks in the doll collection. They're not important. You'll see. You may enjoy them. I was right. When things went worse later, she was able to sell such things. So Anya Richev and the governess went in one way to Snasnowitz, and I went then in a different direction to the frontier against Germany. And on September 1st, 1939, the war came. I was on the front, one on the first two. So twice I spilled my drugstore. It's my eyes. Ever since I got in my left eye, the hemorrhaging and the glaucoma, it had to be taken out from me. And now I don't see so well. And now I have a cataract inside my one good eye. You see how I have to suffer? I told you about the big shot specialist what was going to operate me. Uh-huh. He last year put me into the hospital for an immediate operation, and then he just left me. He went somewhere away to give lectures on the television. My eyes started so bleeding, I had to run out to find a doctor in a different hospital. There, another specialist operated right away. Otherwise, I could have died. So now it's a glass eye. He did a good job, no? One time, even a young doctor came to my bed there in the hospital. He looked with a light a long time in my eyes and told, Mr. Spiegelman, your left eye is perfect, but in your right eye is cataracts. He didn't know, of course, that the left eye is glass, and I didn't tell anything to him. I didn't want to make him an embarrassment. Uh-huh, you told me about that. Well, it's enough for today. Yes, I'm tired and I still must count my pills. Okay, good idea. My hand is sore from writing all this down.